Welcome back to Hotham's Apiary. I'm Jason Hotham, and in this video I thought we'd take another walk today. I have Ellie here with me, and I can take the time to talk to you about the different types of honeybees that many beekeepers are keeping today in their apiaries. You won't want to miss it. Ellie, let's go. Let's go. All right, so the three kinds of bees that most people are keeping are the Italian honeybee, the Carniolan honeybee, or the Buckfast honeybee. Now the first two are pure breed subspecies of the Apis mellifera, and the third one is a hybrid. Something to drink. There you go. Huh. Take it easy. So the Italian honeybee, they get their name from the region where they come from, which is Italy. Their scientific name is Apis mellifera ligustica, and they have some advantages and some disadvantages. The advantages are that they thrive in warm weather, so they are a good bee if you are keeping bees in the southern United States. They forage very well. They have a lower tendency to swarm, which is a very good thing, and they're very gentle. Some of their disadvantages, however, are that they tend to become robbers. So later in the season, when they start running out of food stores, they will try to steal the honey from other bees. They also do not thrive very well in colder climates. So this may be a subspecies of bee that you will not want to have if you are in the northern United States and Canada, but I could be wrong. Another disadvantage of the Italian honeybee is that if the beekeeper does not remove the honey super in time, the bees will start bringing that honey back down into the brood nest because they try to populate as much as they can. So by them bringing the honey down, they have more food that's closer to the brood. The honeybee has the distinct colors of like a bright orange and black banding on the thorax. A very beautiful bee. What do you think, Ellie? Let's go, huh? Girl. Oh, it's so beautiful up here. And it looks like somebody has installed an insect hotel right in the middle of this clearing. That's pretty cool. If you want to make your own insect hotel, there are plenty of instructional videos online on how to build one. I think it's a great thing to have. It really helps out insects find a home for the winter. Pretty cool. Beautiful. The second type of bee that most people are keeping, especially here in Germany, are the Carniolan bee. The Carniolan bee actually comes from a region in Slovenia, the eastern part of Austria, down into the Balkans. And the scientific name for the Carniolan bee is Apis mellifera carnica. In fact, the German name for those bees are Carnica bees. And these bees are typically dark gray and have a black and dark gray banding on their thorax. And actually, a friend of mine on Facebook, after watching one of my videos, he asked me if I actually keep black Italian bees. No, they're not Italian bees, they're Carniolan bees. As with the Italian bees, there are advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are that the Carniolan is a very, very mild bee. They're very gentle. Some people actually tend to the bees without using smoke or any type of protective equipment like a veil or gloves. Another advantage is that the Carniolans really try to boost up their population early in the spring so they can actually get out and forage those early plants like canola, dandelion, and the different blossoms from the orchards like cherry and apple. Another advantage of the Carniolan bee is that they're very, very calm when they're sitting on the frames. So when you take the frames out of the hive to inspect them, they're not flying all around your face. They stay calm and quiet on the honeycomb, which makes them a lot easier to inspect. The disadvantages of the Carniolans tend to swarm a lot more. If the Carniolan bees feel as if they're running out of room, then they will swarm. Another disadvantage is they don't thrive very well in hot weather. So if you have these bees out in a field and the hot summer sun is bearing down on them, they might not thrive very well. They'll probably start producing bees and they'll spend most of their time trying to cool down the hive. Those are the two biggest disadvantages of the Carniolan bee. But those are the bees that we keep here in Germany, and I believe many people north of the Alps are also keeping Carniolan bees. The third type of bee that I want to talk about, it's not a subspecies, it's a hybrid, and it's called the Buckfast bee. The Buckfast bee is a mix out of different subspecies of the Apis mellifera, and it was bred by a monk in the Buckfast Abbey, which is in England, and his name was Brother Adam. And he bred this bee in the early 20th century, and the bee actually has pretty much all the advantages of the Italian and the Carniolan, but none of the disadvantages. It is a very robust bee, very gentle, forages quite well, does not tend to swarm, can live in hot or cold climates, and overall is a very good honeybee. The Buckfast is not a bee that is well known outside of Europe, at least not that I'm aware of. If I'm wrong, please write a comment. If you know anyone in North America that is keeping Buckfast bees, I would love to hear about that. They are starting to increase in number here in Germany because of all the advantages I just mentioned. The interesting thing about the bees that we have in this area, we actually do have Carniolan and Buckfast bees that are being kept at different apiaries, but when the queen goes out to mate, she meets up with drones, and she doesn't decide which drones she's mating with. She just mates with those drones. So if you have bees that are within the flight radius of the queen that are Carniolan, Buckfast, maybe even Italian bees, then it's quite possible that that queen will end up getting genetics from different types of species, from different breeds, and maybe a new hybrid develops. So sometimes we see bees that have kind of a mixed color, a little bit darker orange on some of the bees, and then some of the bees have more gray inside of the same colony. I've asked my mentor about that, and he said, well, the bees here, they fly out and they meet with other drones. The queens meet with other drones and they mate. The only way that can be prevented is if you take virgin queens to actual stands where only certain types of drones are being released for mating. Those are the 3 different types of bee that are most commonly kept. Once again, if you know of beekeepers keeping a different type of bee, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done it, please subscribe and let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to post for content. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun beekeeping.